On this episode, we talk about the Linden project at
Columbus is indeed a remarkable city with talented, imaginative, and generous people. They have found that it is worthwhile to foster quality education, a healthy industrial climate, and civic beauty, and indeed they have it here in felicitous combination. In truth, this is the glory of Columbus, and we hope you will agree.
Randy, what role does CSA Lincoln play in the Lincoln Central neighborhood area?
Well, CSA Lincoln has been an integral part of the neighborhood for many years. Prior to it becoming the CSA school, it was the neighborhood school. And so many of the families that we continue to work with were very familiar with Lincoln. We have a long history with Lincoln. They've done we've had some great partnerships together through the years and so forth. So it's really a mainstay, and it's a place that all our families know about. It's a place that families have been coming to for many, many years to participate on this playground. We just recently did our strategic plan, the next 3 to 5 year plan and so forth. And one of the things it consisted of was developing parks in the area that are safe and welcoming and inviting and so forth, so that families can participate together and kind of have that family interaction that is so desperately needed in the neighborhood.
What are your thoughts on the current playground and the proposed changes?
The current playground, it gives the kids something to do, but they're getting bored. There's a lot of asphalt. There's not that much actual equipment. So changing it and giving them more options would be wonderful. They would absolutely enjoy it. Other than a lot of just asphalt to run around on and kick balls and things like that. They want more swings and monkey bars and things like that.
Yeah, and as a staffer, we see a lot of injuries with the asphalt here at school. Lots of boo-boos and scraped knees, and as a parent, a lot of holes in our pants that we get to repair or throw away pants. It would just be nice to have green space that they could play on, maybe for safety.
Being downtown, we don't just have a school playground. It's a community playground. The surrounding neighborhoods, everyone comes here. We're also on the visitors tour and architectural tours. When people come through and they have children, they go and play on that playground. So it's more than just for our students. It gives them the opportunity for the whole community to enjoy this area, and we're surrounded by beautiful architecture. And that is the whole point of Columbus, is the history and the architecture. So this project has even more meaning because it will be enjoyed not just by the Husky family, but it's also the entire community of Columbus.
Why is it important for your school and community to have a new playground?
I think it's important to have a new playground because the playground we have now is a little beaten up. The swings are one of the swings is broken off, and I think it'd give it a more modern look so that it looks like the other designs we have in Columbus.
Well, some of the things are broken.
What would you like to see in the new playground?
Some grass areas because the blacktop, a lot of people get hurt if they trip or fall. And some new slides because there's not a lot of slides. And a lot of people when they go down the slide gets crowded. And some monkey bars, some new sets of monkey bars because the monkey bars that we have, a lot of people like to play on and it gets crowded a lot.
I don't like that it has mulch, and I think we need grass because the mulch gets in your shoes and it gets everywhere.
Kimmy, you're talking a little earlier about why did you want grass? You wanted more grass.
because like the mulch, if you like fall down, it can like give you splinters, and it really hurts like if you fall down, because we play tag. We don't accidentally like push each other, and you fall down and you get splinters a lot.
And we also talked a little bit about that with the cement as well,
Yeah.
and blacktop.
Blacktop.
If you fall down on the cement, your leggings can rip through your pants, and you can get hurt really bad.
And the blacktop like stains your shoes too, the bottom.
Anything about how close everything is together? We talked a little bit about the different areas that were out there.
Yeah. Oh, we were thinking like dedicate different areas, like a kickball area, a football area, and maybe a volleyball area.
Why would you want that?
Because they're all crowded and all the games get mixed together. So like if someone's playing kickball and the other one's playing football, like a person playing football could get hit by a kickball.
We want to save your playground, people, so they won't get hurt a lot. It'll be safer for little kids, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and we don't want them to get hurt.
And we were thinking about like a study area where there's like, you can, if you don't want to like play at recess, you can study or read books or draw or something like that.
And it's better for projects if you want to do a challenge outside.
So it's kind of like an outdoor classroom.
Why is it important for this to be more than just a repair or an update kind of project? Why such unique installation and equipment?
The equipment that we selected really ties back to the architecture of the building. There's one piece of equipment. It's a globe. It's a wood climbing structure, and the materials themselves tie back to the materials within the building. And the shape is very geometric, similar to the building's design as well. We needed to bring the playground up to today's standards and codes, which it isn't currently. We also wanted to reuse some of the playground equipment that's there, but we wanted to be able to tie back to the architectural legacy of Columbus with some newer playground equipment and some more geometric shapes. One of the things that this playground doesn't currently have is really outdoor classrooms or passive space where the students, children can just hang out and talk and visit. And that was one of the things that actually came out in the survey, was some of the students wanted to have places where they could just sit and talk to their friends rather than just totally active space. So we wanted to be able to provide that for them. Down in the corner you can see the original design and where it started it's created these circular outdoor rooms in a series as you go around the north side of the building. Now originally those were envisioned as play spaces for the older kids, and these lower areas that are inside the concrete circle were supposed to be for younger, but that's just another example of how the programming has changed. So we needed to create playground space to accommodate all the age groups that are currently here at the school. And then as you can see, what we've done is we've isolated the kickball area. That's pretty popular here, but also dangerous if you're not actually in the game. So we created an area for kickball and then isolated it with landscape. We reused the drop-off drive. It's still there, but we've got games they're more sidewalk games that are painted in the drive area, so that serves as double duty as play space as well as the drive drop off. Then we've created we've got some outdoor areas that are more passive for students to sit or to be able to have outdoor class, be able to have groups of the students together. And then there are still some opportunities in these green spaces depending on how they want to program them. They could be gardening areas if we want. Right now they're kind of listed as landscape area, but they could be garden spaces and things where the students can actually have some hands-on experience with landscaping and gardening. This is where the existing playground currently sits, and is what it'll, in plan view, what it'll look like once it's been refurbished with new equipment and upgraded. And then what you see is a soft fall surface that's decorative. It's a poured in place, and it's more state-of-the-art play surfacing rather than the mulch that you often see in playgrounds. Again, seating area with large shade sails. That was another thing that we heard from the students, was they wanted some shade. Plenty of places to sit. This is the more architectural piece of the playground. That's the wooden globe with the net climber in the center. We've got another basketball court, well, a basketball court over in this corner because they didn't want to lose the ability to play basketball, and now they've got kickball and basketball they can play at the same time. And then, of course, the swing set. That was another really popular item in the student survey. So we're keeping the swing set, but again, adding the upgraded safety surfacing. And it's all tied together through these landscape beds that you can see throughout.
You know, if you look at our playground now, it's actually missing a few key components to the play structure that were removed either for safety measures or because they were broken. And the past practices is that PTO was responsible for financing that piece. And we, like I talked before, financially we just can't do that and provide the most important pieces of our educational experience for kids, like field trips or student activities and experiences. And so that's where we don't want to lose. We raise such a little amount of money as a school. If we were to dedicate it all to the playground to fix like a swing set, then that means they would lose out on field trips. And those, you know, because we're PBL, we're in the community, and being able to go visit these locations, that would be a lost opportunity, and we didn't want to lose that. And so that's also, I think, the key piece as to why it's important now is that our playground, we're missing a swing set, you know, we're missing multiple pieces of our, you know, at what point is it enough, and we need to make sure we're not duct taping our playground to a point of just saying, hey, we have, it's time to fix it. And it doesn't, and it's been great with the parents and the school corporation and the teachers and students working together to make this possible. This just happened to be a right time, and with the bicentennial or the 50th anniversary for our school being next year, it just seemed like a great launching off time.
We are number 6 from an architectural standpoint in the United States. That is very amazing for a community of only 45,000 people, right? So this investment that was made for educational purposes back in the 60s is still relevant, and one of our main goals is to keep growing it and keep it new and keep it refreshed and keep it dynamic in order to help the educational process. That's why it's put in place in the first place. Now, one of the ingredients that Gunnar Burkitz originally had was the outdoor classroom space, which we have examples around the perimeter of the building now, and all we're basically saying is that's still a good idea, and oh, by the way, we got some new things that we want to try, and continuous improvement process, and not only preserving the past and preserving the future and getting ready, or preserving the current, but getting ready for the future, and then also making the investment to keep that excellence of education process going. And I think that's one of the things that Columbus, Indiana has to do, as well as a school corporation, because we are, in fact, the school corporation has 14 buildings that have been the architectural fees have been paid for by the foundation, the architectural foundation that Mr. Miller started, and that would be a premise for why that was done in the first place, is make sure we have outstanding, excellent educational facilities for the students. And so all we're trying to do is keep that legacy, as you said, get that legacy, continue to make that grow and continue through next generations. And this is just a piece of that total puzzle.
Yeah, and I think it's being mindful that we want to put a product or an environment out there that will be great for Columbus for the foreseeable future. Who knows when we'll be able to do another project. And so versus just doing a, you know, generic piece, is staying true to the idea that Columbus is unique, and we're going to continue to be that unique piece and provide and support. And you know, we want to put a product out there that Columbus will be proud of.
Why does this project need to be more than just a playground?
We're on 5th Street. We're amongst giants around here. We have Irwin Gardens and the library and St. Peter's, First Christian Church. And we are also part of that community. We're just kind of, for forgotten about at the moment. We're on the architectural tour.
Gunnar Berger designed the school, you know, so we've got this really awesome school with a playground that does not reflect the school at all. And so that was one of the really neat things that Randy and Steve unearthed were the plans for the school. So we had access.
Included the playground at the time.
The original
and
playground
outdoor
designs.
classrooms and things like that. Yeah.
So part of the process for this last year also was to look into the archives, the Columbus archives, and find out more about the history and all of the architecture that was involved over the last 50 years of the school, of the area, of the playground area. So we're also doing a lot of research with that and incorporating what we can into what we can find out about the school. So
I think we happen to be parents here and be really passionate about CSA Lincoln as a learning environment and firm supporters of the project-based learning and things like that. But we also see and recognize and appreciate the architectural significance of the school's role in the community. And in particular the playground, because it sits outside the building and it's accessible to the community at large. We really recognize the needs to be a little more diligent with what we thought about for the playground project to try and make it something that was meaningful beyond the needs of the kids that are here during the school day.
Yeah. We thought, since we're ready, we've spent the year planning for it, we're ready to open this up to the community and show them what we've been working on, what we'd like them to be excited about too, because it's not just our playground. It really is a playground for the community.
And it's not just a playground. So we also want to incorporate those outdoor learning spaces and not just a play space for the kids and for our kids, but those outdoor classroom spaces and things like that. So we definitely want this project to reflect those types of spaces too.
It is indeed easy to be proud of Columbus, not only today but every day. For here we have found it is much better to strive for excellence than to be satisfied with mediocrity.
This school and this city have thrilled me beyond all expectations. For the school and the community which it expresses is more than the creation of beautiful architecture. It is the successful and pioneer demonstration of a magnificent idea.
Here in Columbus, we find real evidence that a city that strives to create this environment and excellence attracts also the best in business and industry. It is business and industry that provide the economic foundation that helps us to make possible the improved services, beautification programs, and superior education that keep this city growing and alive. We think this city is the greatest city of any size in the world.